guys, welcome back to Code with Clean Slate. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make a music player application with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. As you can see on my screen, I have a music app on my screen here that plays music. So let's move on to the next music to see. As you can see, it's singing. So to the next music, you can see, you can also pause this music, you can go forward to the next, you can just keep going. You can also go back to the previous music if you like, you understand? So I'm going to show you how to create this music player application right now. So do what to watch the rest of this video and don't forget to subscribe so you'll not miss my next video. Thank you so much. We are getting started right away. Okay, here's my VS Code. Okay, I also need to I need to also minimize my browser so you can see what you are doing at the same time. So I'll be using live server. So whenever I save my work, the browser refreshes. You understand? So let's get started right now. Okay, here's my HTML page. I already have some links, and this is my font awesome link. This is links to my font awesome. This is my CSS file over here, and this is my JavaScript file over here. Understand? As you can see on the browser, you can see some icons. I got those icons from font awesome. That's why I have to link. That's why I have to link to them so I can be able to use their icons. Understand? So let's get started now. So let's create the container, the white container. So let's start with that. Div ID equal to container. Okay, let's create in the header. This is the header over here. The header that has this barcode icon, this H3 elements, and this filter or sort icon. Okay, let's continue with that. Okay, so let's say div ID equal to header. Oh, I forgot to open my icon, so I need to get something open. Sorry for that. So it's coming on. Okay, yeah, yes, here already. So I need to pick up some of these icons. So I need to pick up this chevron left, which is that icon that points to the left. So share my browser, please. Perfect. So I copied an icon. So just paste it. This icon, wherever here is this left arrow you see here. So I'm gonna put in the H3 element, which is the music app. Understand? So also need to put in this salt icon. So you can also get it over here. Here it says just Ctrl C. Okay, Ctrl minimize the page and continue the work. Ctrl V. Okay, we have it over there. So let's also create this. How will I call it? This div here. There's a div here that has this image, that has this H3 elements and the P tag. So I'm going to create that right now. So let's continue with that now. Let's call that div song information or song div ID song info. You understand? Div ID song info. Div ID song info. Inside the song info, we're gonna have the audio file. So audio SLCs will be empty for now because I'm going to use JavaScript to add audio. I'll use JavaScript to add audio, so it'll be empty. Let's call this. Let's give it an ID of audio. Let's say audio player. You can call it anything you like. Understand? So after that, we're going to also add an image to this inside this song info div. We're going to call it div ID should be equal to. We're going to create an image container before we create the image. Understand? I'm going to say image container div ID should be equal to image container. Okay. After we've done that, we need to create the actual image itself. Image SLC is going to be empty for now. We're going to use JavaScript to add the image itself. We're going to create an ID of image equal to image. Okay. Yeah, so let's need to add again. We need to also add this. We need to add the H3 and the P tag over here. That will be under the image container. I'm gonna say H3. Let's get an ID. Let's give it artist name. That's the name of the artist. Let's say artist name will go into that H3. So the P tag gonna hold in the. Let's give an ID of song name. Gonna hold the song name. Let's say song name. Oh, what am I doing? Song name. Yeah, so after that, now we've done with it. So let's add the control, the play, the reverse, and the forward buttons. Let's add that. It's going to be inside an ID. It's going to be inside a div. It's an ID of controls. So yeah, so we're going to create 3 buttons for them. So 3 buttons. They're going to be inside this ID controls. I'm gonna create 3 buttons for those div. So I need to open my work with live server. I've not even so open with live server. So it's loading. So let's continue with our work before I can say button. Maybe I just okay. Let's see. So you can see yes, here's our project now. So let's add 3 buttons, and those buttons are gonna hold these 3 icons we have here. I'm gonna say button ID. The first one gonna be the previous button, right? Prev btn. It seems too big. The page is too big, or it seems looking too small. Continues looking like this. So prev btn. So we're going to copy the icon, paste inside, which is this, called backward, just Ctrl C. You can copy everything down, coming down to this notepad again. Now let's just paste them beneath, just Ctrl V. Where's the previous button? So this backward, just copy it and paste inside the button, Ctrl V. So we need to also create another button, call this button ID, that should be the play button, play btn, play btn. Okay, so let's copy this play icon over here. Ctrl X cuts the play icon and paste inside the button. Ctrl V. So you need to also put in the forward button. Okay, button ID should be equal to, let's say, next button. Let's just put next btn. You can call your own anything, understand? So let's copy the forward button. Ctrl S, cut and paste. Ctrl V. So we can remove this backward button. We don't need it anymore. Okay, that's all for now for the HTML. So I think it's time we're going to style our CSS. Let's save our work and see what it looks like. Boom, you can see we have everything in there now. So let's go and add some beautiful styles to our page now. So let's do that right now. So we're going to say, so we want to remove the padding and the margin from this page. We want to remove the padding and the margin. We'll do them again. Let's say margin 0 pixels, padding 0 pixels, box sizing, border box, on X. You can see now the padding and margin have been removed from the page. So now I've done that now, what else we need to ask? Let's go and we want to give our the body a background of magenta or magenta. I don't know the right pronunciation. Sorry for that. I'm gonna say background color. Let's give it a background color of magenta. Save, perfect. Okay, we've done that now. So after we've done that, so let's start our container. The container, let's get ID container. So let's start this container. We're going to give this container a width of 250 pixels, 250 pixels, the height of 500 pixels, a background color of white. Background color of white. To save your work. You can see our container, nothing is showing there. What should have gone with our HTML? So let's check if we made any mistake. Okay, you can see I made a mistake. I put container instead of container. Perfect. Now you can see it's not showing now. Okay, so you can see we want this container to be at the center of the page, horizontally and vertically, like at the center of the page, horizontally and vertically. So we're going to do that now. So we're going to come down to the body and add the display flex. Display flex helps to put, for example, let's assume we have like 4 items inside the container. If you give that container a display of flex, it's going to place those 4 items on a straight line horizontally. You understand? You're going to see what I'm talking about. So let's add the display flex to this, to the body. We're going to give the body again an align item center. To save, you can save align items center. Was wrong, it's not working. Align display flex, body display flex, align item center. It's not working. You should have aligned this center vertically. So let's give it a height first. Let's say height. Let's give the body a height of 100 VH. Perfect. Now you can see I just get the body a height now. So I said this align items has helped us to place this white container at the center of the page vertically. And this align items works with display flex. If there is no display flex on the parent element, for example, let's comment this out and save. If there's no display flex there, it's not going to work. You understand? So it depends on the display flex to work. You understand? So It's already at the center of the page. So save your work now. So this is at the center of the page vertically. So want to also make it be at the center of the page horizontally. So we're gonna give it justify content, center save. You can see the center of the page both horizontally and vertically. Understand now? Okay, let's continue now. So let's continue with our container now. So let's give the container a border radius of 10 pixels. Border radius 10 pixels. To save. Perfect now. So okay, we've done that. So let's go and style our header. This is our header from this one. Our header is this. Our header is a container over here that speaks, that helps to carry this backward button, the music app, and the salt icon. So let's style the header. So I'm gonna say header. Okay, header. Okay, header. Let's give the header a width of 200 pixels. Let's give it the height of 40 pixels. Let's get a border of 2px solid black so we can see what we're talking about. 2px solid black. Save. Okay, perfect. Now you can see our header over here. So you can see the header over here. So I want to like this header icon. So let me check if there's a mistake. The sort icon is outside of the header. The sort icon is outside of the header. So let's check our header. Here's the header. Okay, don't worry, that will be fixed right now. So you can see now I want to place all the elements inside the header on a straight line horizontally. So I'm going to give this header a display flex now. So display flex to save my work. You can see they are already on a straight line horizontally. So I want it to be at the center vertically. Gonna put align items center. So you can see a center vertically. So I want to add some spaces in between the content, in between the elements. So I'm going to give it a justify content space around, space around. Perfect. I could also give it a justify content. Let's see. Okay, that's okay. That's okay for now. So now, okay, I also need to add the display flex to this white container. I'm going to say display flex save. You can see now all the elements inside the container on the white container are all on a straight line. So also need to give this container an align item center to save your work. Okay, you can say center of the container horizontal vertically. So you need to make it be at the center. Let's get the justify content space evenly. Okay, now you can see they are still on a straight line, vertical, horizontally. So want to make it be on this. Want to make it be vertical. Let's say be on a straight line vertically. Like want to make each item fall under. So let me just write it out. Let me not just talk too much. So flex direction column. So you're gonna see I'm gonna look like right now. So column save your work. Perfect. You can see now the other the center vertically and horizontally inside the white container. Perfect now. So I think I can remove this. So let's add space around than adding space evenly. I think it's better this way now. So I think I can remove this header. I can remove this border from the header. So see for us, let's add a font family to this page. So let's give font family. I'm gonna be using Lato. So font family Lato. So save. Perfect now. So let's go and style this our controls. We need to style the controls. Okay, we also need to style. So let's start the song info. Let's do it one at a time. Song info that contains the information of our song. Let's get the width of 200 pixels, a height of 300 pixels, a border of 2px solid black. To save. Perfect now. Okay, after I've done that now, we also need to style. Let's add a display flex. Also, to this display flex. We need to just copy down the. Just copy. Let's copy. Control C and paste over here. I'm wasting time. Control V. Perfect. So let's put this to center. Perfect. Oh, what have I done wrong? Okay, display flex. So, okay, perfect now. So let's fill our image container. I'm gonna say image container that helps to hold our image. Image container will have a width and a height. A width and a height of 200 pixels. Height 200 pixels. 200 pixels. The border of border radius. Okay, border of 2px solid black. So you can see also, you can see how it looks like. So let's add the border radius of 50%. Border radius of 50%. So save. Write that down. This should be radius. Radius. So save. Oh, still not working. No train trunk. Border radius 50%. Okay, should be a semicolon. Perfect now. Okay, we've done that now. So let's follow our control now. So let's get on to the control section. Let's give it, let's say controls. Let's type the controls. Let's call it our controls helps to house our icons. Understand? So let's say width, let's put the control a width of 150 pixels, a height of let's say 40 pixels, a border of 2px, also one let's say 2px solid light gray, solid light gray, save, perfect. So also need to add those display flex to it. So just Ctrl C and paste over here, Ctrl V, save, perfect. So also need to add a space around. Let's add a space around. Let's add a space around. Space around. Perfect. Okay, now I've done that now. So what do we need to do right now? So we need to also, for example, let's do the cursor pointer. So let's add the cursor pointer to the three button. Cursor pointer that shows the hand. Let's say button. Let's say cursor pointer. So let's see, you can see shows the hand if I over on them. So let's tie this button individually. So what am I gonna do now? So let me tie the play button. This play button, the play button is the button, not the icon. So let's tie the play button. So I give it the ID of this refers to the button and not the icon. Play button, let's give it a width of 50 pixels, a height of 50 pixels, the border radius of what? Border radius of 50%. So save. So also need to remove the border. You can see it as a border. I don't like that border there. Border none. Border none. Save. Okay, let's give it a background color of magenta. Background color magenta. Save. Perfect. Okay, let's just style the. Okay, we also need to style the icon inside inside that play button, which is FA play. So you have to, that icon has it. For example, let me show something about. You can see this icon, the play button over here. Okay, let me just minimize this a bit. You can see the play button here has it has a class of FA play. This FAS class is generic, it's for all the icons. So whichever style adds to the FAS class affects all the icons. So even if you style any of the icon individually, you're gonna pick up the second class. FA play, FA forward, FA backward. Instead, so I'm gonna pick up FA play. I'm gonna say that FA play. So I'm gonna give it a color of white, color of white. Then get a background color, sorry, not a background color, a font size rather, a font size of let's say 18 pixels. So save. You can see it's looking better now. So let's tie the backward and the forward. Let's tie the backward and the forward buttons. Okay, let's do that right now. So I'm gonna say that FA play, that's FA forward, comma, dot FA backward. So what we're going to do now is we want to give them, so let's remove their, let's give them a color of light gray. Oh, you can see, okay, they are dead. So we need to remove the color of the button themselves, of the, so we're going to say prev btn, we don't want the prev btn, comma, and next btn, I'm going to say background none, border none. Perfect. You can see we have them over there, but they are quite small. So let's just add a font size. Let's increase their font size. Let's say font size. Let's say 16 pixels. Let's see how it's gonna look like. Okay, I think it's better now. Okay, you can see now we have treated our HTML and CSS. Let's get onto the JavaScript to code this project now. So let's get onto JavaScript right now. Still, we're gonna pick up some elements from the HTML. So let's pick up let's pick up these buttons, these icons, display forward and backward. So we're gonna say let's play btn, let's play button be equal to document documents. Document.get element by id play button play btn. So let's also pick the previous button. Let's brief button. Let's brief btn equal to. Let me just increase this so you see it clearly. Sorry for that. Equal to document.get elements by id brief btn. Okay, so let's also say let's next btn equal to document dot get elements by id next btn. Okay, we've done that already. So we need to also go and pick our audio. We need to pick our audio, the audio tag and the image also. So I gave our audio tag an ID of audio player, right? If you can remember. So let's just say let's audio player. It could be called anything. You understand? Equals to document. Let's get element by ID audio player. So let's pick our image. So let's say let's image equal to document does get element by id image. Let's pick up. We also need to pick up our artist name h3 and the p tag for the song name. It's going to say let artist name equal to. I can make sure I'm talking about right here. These are the ones I'm talking about. So I can say I give this an id of h3, an id of artist name, and this one is id of song name. This is going to help us know the name of the artist. It's going to help us know the name of our song. Understand? Okay, let's continue. Just going to select artist name equal to documents dot get elements by id artist name and let song name equal to document dot get elements by id song name. Yeah, so we've picked up what we have. So we have already selected some things from our HTML. We have already picked up some elements from the HTML. So let's continue now. So we're going to create. So let me. I need to copy from my notepad here. So I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to copy Ctrl C. So minimize this page. So paste over here. Ctrl V. So these all songs variable now. This all song refers to the individual. These all songs we have here. It contains each songs and their details. Each song I'm gonna play and their details. For example, this all song is an array. It contains 3 objects inside of it. This first object called music 1. This is the details of the first song. This is the details of the second song and the details of the third song. Understand? So that they're all inside an array. Understand? So I'm gonna create now. So okay, I also need to create. Well, so I need to create a counter. Let's counter equal to 0. Why am I still, why did I set this counter to 0? Why? You might wonder what is the need for this counter? I'm going to use this counter as an index to assess this array of this array we have here. You know, 0. Remember, trying to get something from an array. The first element in an array always has an index of 0. So if our counter is going to be, our counter is 0 now at the beginning. So I'm going to use this counter to be able to access this 0 to be able to access this first object inside of it. So whenever I click on this, on the next button, it's gonna increment counter. Whenever I click on the previous button, it's gonna decrement counter. So I'm going to show you what exactly what I'm going to show you what I'm talking about right now. So let's continue now. So as I said, so let's now say audio player. So I want to like audio player. I want to add the audio file to the audio player right now. I'm gonna say audio player dot slc dot source should be equal to all songs. You can see all songs contains all the music, all the song info, all song And accessing an array, accessing elements in an array, we're gonna use a square bracket. All song counter, counter is zero. So this is the same thing as writing all songs zero. If you understand, so counter is zero now. So you can see all songs refers to this array, or the array, or this refers to this array we have here, and zero in the square bracket refers to this first object in the array. You understand? So for me to access, I want to access this the music file, which is this. So I'm going to say all songs counter dot music file. You understand? This the counter refers to this object as a whole. So for me to access this particular music file, I'm going to say dot music file. I say dot music file. That's done already. You understand? So the music file is ready there. So I'm going to copy this. Going to say, let me just say Control Home and Control C and paste. You understand now? So I'm going to say image now. I'm going to for the image. Image search should be equal to all song counter dot what did I call it? I called it. What did I call the property again? I called the property artist pick, right? Artist pick save. Oh, you can see this artist pick is so big, so I didn't style the art. I didn't style the image. That was a mistake from me. Sorry for that. So this should be. Let me style the image over here. I'm gonna say image container img. You give the image a width of 100%, a height of 100%. This is gonna make the image contain. This is gonna make the image occupy the whole of the image contain. Understand? Without exceeding it. So say you can see it has occupied it, but I want it to be round. I want it to be round. Border radius 50%. Perfect. You can see it's over there now. So I was able to add this image to my JavaScript here. I can say, as I know, I've picked the image already from here. So the image from my HTML has an ID of image. So can I said image.src is equal to all songs, and all songs an array that contains three objects. So all song contains three objects. Understand? So I was able to access them through this. As I was able to access the individual properties in the object. As I said, all song is the array. This counter is the index. For example, we are still on the zero index, the first index. Dot music for going to give us the music. This is going to give us the image. You understand? That artist speak you can see from here. Artist speak you can see over here. And this img refers the folder where this image is saved in. Let me show you that right now. You can see img. You can see now this is where the folder. This is where my images are saved. You can see songs where this is where my audio files are saved. So let's continue with the project right now. Okay, so as I see, it's now working right now. So I also need to create. I also need to also artist name. I need to also complete the artist name. Let's say artist name dot inner text should be equal to all songs. So you can just close this up on Control Plus. Okay, all songs counter dot what did I call the artist name again? Dot what? Dot artist. Dot let me sorry. Dot artists. Dot artist. Okay, that's it now. So also you can see the artist name as common has already appeared now. So you can also say image. Let's say song name rather. Song name. Dot inner text should be equal to all songs counter dot what's not it? That's music file. No, that's music name rather. That's music name. You can see now I've been able to add the first. I'll be able to add the first set of music into the. I'll be able to add the music into my HTML with JavaScript now. So I want to work on this play button that. I want to work on this play button that helps to play and pause the music. So this should be the pause button. I want to make the. I want it to be the pause button. On the button here. I want the default button here to be pause and not the play button. So I'm going to do that right. So I'm going to just go and copy the pause button over here. So copy the pause button and replace with the play button. Control C. I'm going to replace with the place button on my HTML. So come over here. Replace it with the play button. Replace the play button with this. Control V. So FA. So remove this. Hope I'm not making any mistake. Oh, I've made a mistake. I didn't copy it well. So I need to copy that, Control V. Okay, I've done that right now. You can see we have the pause button over here. So also, I need to also add the same style added to the play button to the pause button. So let's style the pause button. Let's add the same style. FA pause. Perfect. Now, okay, it's working so fine. Now, so so we want to be able to pause and play this music. Understand? Okay. So let's do that right now. Okay. As you can see, this pause button tells us that this music is playing, and we can pause the song, we can pause the music. You understand? So I'm gonna say play button to add event listener. So whenever I click on the play button, this is the play this magenta this background of magenta is a play. So whenever I click on it, it's gonna so whenever we have the pause icon showing and we click on it, it's gonna pause the song and we place this icon with the play icon. So let's just try that without talking. Let's say play btn.add event listener. Click now call this one play song. It will play or pause song. So let's call this function play song. You know, say function play song. Function play song. So I'm gonna say if I'm not making okay, this function is not well spelled. Function play song. I'm going to say if play btn if play btn dot inner html is equal to the pause icon. Because if that's so maybe I need to just like minimize, reduce the text so I can see this clearly. But it's appearing too small. Okay. So I'm gonna so I need to, maybe I since I just need to maximize, let me just minimize, let me just so I'm gonna say if play btn.inner html is equal to the pause icon, change it to the play. So whenever I click on it and it's showing the pause icon, change it to the play icon. Understand? Play btn.inner html should now be equal to the play icon, right? Change this to play. So after I've done that now I'm gonna say audio player dot pause. So let's come down. So let's so let's set it here. So that whenever this pause icon shows, it's telling us that we can pause the music. You understand? I was trying to say that we can pause the music. And I said here, if the play button of inner HTML is equal to the pause icon, and we click on it. So whenever we click on it, it changes to the play icon and pauses the music. Audio.pause, right? So let's see. So okay, it's not working yet. So once you need to also write another else if statement. I'm gonna say else if so once we're able to change this to it has changed to play, once we're able to change it back to pause. So let's say else if so let's say else if play so it should be inside control X should be inside this inside the if statement. Okay, it's not so you can see like it's not changing back it's not changing back to the pause icon. So I'm gonna put in an else if statement. I'm gonna say else if statement. I'm gonna say an F I'm gonna say else if play button dot inner HTML is equal to the play icon. Is equal to the play icon. You should play btn dot add event listener. Play btn dot inner HTML rather should be equal to the pause icon. Equals to the pause icon. So we've done that now. So after that, we're gonna say okay, we can now say audio player dot play. It's not working. What is the problem? Else if play button inner item is equal to change it to pause, change to the pause icon. audio player does play. We're having an issue right now. It's supposed to be working, but it isn't working. So let's save our work. So play. Okay, it's not pausing. What's the problem? So let's go back to our page. I'm gonna say else if play button and if play button of inner HTML is equal to the pause icons. Let me just minimize so I can see everything at once. If it's equal to the pause icon, play button should be equal to the play icon, right? So I'm gonna say else if play button of inner HTML is equal to the play icon, play button to add image. Play okay, I didn't complete this. Control C and Control V. So it should be inside the string. So let's see. It's still not changing. Else if okay, I've seen a mistake over here. The mistake should be I think this is not complete. So let's copy this. This is not complete. The play icon, the HTML is not complete. So let's replace it with this. Control V to save now. So play, pause, play. So it's pausing and playing now, but our audio is not singing. What went from other player that pause, other player that plays. You want to say if sorry, my earpiece was installed in the computer. I can see it's working now. Sorry for the you can see it's working. You can pause. You can see it's working now. So we need to work on the next and previous buttons. Let's pause this. You can see it's working. My earpiece was connected to the computer, so we could not hear the sound. Sorry for that. Okay, now so let's work on the next button. I was gonna say next button add event listener. Next button add event listener. You can see this is for the play. So let's make this further, go down further. Add event listener. Next button add event listener. Click. I'm gonna say next song. Next song. No, so let's declare this function. Next song. Okay, why is there? Okay, I didn't spell the function very well. I'm gonna say function. Okay, save now. Okay, yeah. So whenever we click on this next button over here, it should increment counter. So whenever I click on it, I'm gonna say whenever I click on the next button, counter gonna get incremented. So you're gonna see. So let's console.log console.log counter. So we've done that. So we've done that now. So let's see. Come down to the HTML. Come down to our HTML to our browser and let's get out to the console. So whenever we click on the next button, you're gonna see counter gets incremented. You can see 1, 2, 3. Click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see it keeps on getting incremented. But once you add a limit to the counter, you don't want the counter to be above the last index in the array. And the last index we have there is 2. I can see we have 3 items in the array. The first one has an index of 0, the second one has an index of 1, the third one has an index of 2. So we don't want this counter to exceed the last index, the number of the last index, which is 2. Understand? Because we're using a counter to access the array. We're using a counter to access the array. So we don't want this counter to exceed 2, which is the last index of that array. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to say if counter is greater, than all songs dot length. All song dot length is 3. All songs refers to the number of items you have inside the array. All songs dot length refers to the number. Array dot length refers to the number of items you have inside the array. And we have 3 items. So the length of all songs is 3. I'm going to say if counter is greater than all songs dot length minus 1. All songs dot length minus 1 means, what does it mean? It means the last item inside the array. Understand? So also not length minus one is two, right? Because it means the index of the last item inside the array. That's what all songs of length minus one means. So I'm gonna say if counter is greater than all songs of length minus one, counter should be returned back to zero. You understand? Counter should be equal to zero. That's it. So counter cannot exceed counter can't exceed 2. Whenever it gets to 2, it returns back to 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Cannot exceed 2. Understand? So after I've done that now, so you cannot copy this here, you can copy this over here, Ctrl C, and paste here. As I said, counter, we're using counter to access the array. As I said earlier, we're using counter to access the array. So save, so you can remove this console.log counter. So save your work and you can see this. Also need to add this audio.play. So whenever I click on the next button, it automatically plays the next song. Let's just add the audio.play, Ctrl X. So let's see. You can see it's working. We can also pause this music. Perfect. So we want to add the previous, we want to add the function for the previous, so to help us get onto the previous song. So let's do it right away. So let me just remove the space. It's gonna say previous button to add event listener, previous button, previous button, but add event listener, add event listener. Click on say previous song, be the name of the function, previous song should be the name of the function. I'm gonna say function previous song. I'm gonna say function previous song, right? So I'm gonna say okay, I've done that now. So I'm gonna so I want to write. So we're going to decrement counter. Understand? We're going to decrement counter. Whenever I click on this, counter gets decremented. Understand? So let's say counter minus minus. So let's assume now. So whenever I click on this, counter just keeps on decrementing. Understand? So I can see from here the first element in the array has an index of 0. So we want to make sure that counter does not get lesser than 0. So you need to write a function and make sure that whenever counter wants to get lesser than 0, it should return the last element in the array, which is 2, the last index in the array, which is 2. So counter can never get lesser than 0 because in an array, the smallest index is always 0. So counter can never be minus 1, minus 2, minus something. It must not be less than 0. So it must not be less than 0. So you need to write an if statement to make sure it does not go lesser than 0. You want to say if counter is lesser than 0, counter should be equal to all songs dot length minus 1. This refers to the if counter is lesser than 0. For example, if counter just appears to be minus 1, counter will automatically change to 2, which is this, also not length minus 1. So if counter is trying to get lesser than 0, counter will just change to 2, which is the last index of the array. I mean, so you understand that is how it works, the last index of the array. So that means that we can add up to 20 songs inside this array, and it's going to work just fine because what we've implemented over by saying all songs dot length minus 1 than saying the actual number. You understand? So after I've done that, so we can also go and copy this, also Ctrl C and paste, Ctrl X, just Ctrl C, okay, paste. So come over here, you can see. So like what's the previous song? You can see. You see it's working so fine. You can see everything works just super fine. So of course our song also. So after I've done that now, so let's go and remove the borders. Let's remove that song info border and the image container. We don't want them again. They've served their purpose. They've done what they were needed to do. You can see now. So let's also add the border radius this control. What was the control? Let's the border radius of 10 pixels. Border radius 10 pixels. Perfect. So we've done it. So okay. We just made a music application with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I hope you enjoy this. So let's see. You can see. You can see it's working. back to the previous song. You can say it's working. So thank you for watching this video. Please do well to subscribe to my channel. Drop a comment for me. I'd love to hear from you. And also click on the like button. So just click on that thumbs up button on your screen there, as it helps the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Drop a comment for me. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed and bye bye.